In January of 1992, the quiet town of Madison, Indiana, would be shaken to its core. A horrific crime, committed not by hardened criminals, but by teenage girls, left the nation horrified and grieving. The victim? A 12-year-old girl named Shanda Sharer, whose life was brutally stolen in one of the most disturbing cases of juvenile violence in American history. Early life of Shanda Sharer. Shanda Sharer was born on June 6, 1979, in Pineville, Kentucky. She was bright, cheerful, and loved by her family. After her parents' divorce, Shanda moved with her mother to Indiana, where she quickly made new friends and adapted to her school life. Despite being only 12 years old, Shanda was known for her friendly personality and for being mature beyond her years. But her young, innocent life would tragically intersect with a group of troubled older teenagers. The seeds of jealousy. The story truly begins with Melinda Loveless, a 16-year-old girl from New Albany, Indiana. Melinda had been in a turbulent relationship with another teenage girl named Amanda Heverin. Their romance had been intense, unstable, and filled with jealousy. When Amanda began showing interest in Shanda Sharer, Melinda felt threatened. Shanda was younger, more carefree, and quickly captured Amanda's attention. For Melinda, this was unbearable. She grew increasingly consumed by anger and jealousy, and her emotions would spiral into deadly obsession. The night of January 10, 1992, on that cold winter night, Melinda Loveless enlisted the help of 3 other girls. Lori Tackett, 17, a girl fascinated with the occult and known for violent tendencies. Hope Rippey, 15, impressionable and eager to follow her friends. Toni Lawrence, 15, a quieter girl who reluctantly went along. The plan was simple but sinister. Lure Shanda away from her home under the pretense of visiting Amanda, and then scare her. What Shanda didn't know was that the jealousy-fueled plan would escalate into something far more brutal. The kidnapping. At around midnight, the girls drove to Shanda's house. Hope and Toni approached the door, convincing Shanda to come with them by saying Amanda wanted to see her. Shanda hesitated at first, but eventually slipped into the car, thinking she was going to meet her crush. Inside the vehicle, Melinda was hiding in the back seat with a knife. When Shanda got inside, Melinda revealed herself and began threatening her. What started as intimidation quickly escalated into a terrifying ordeal. The torture. The group drove Shanda around for hours, tormenting her. They stopped at a remote location known as the Witch's Castle, an abandoned stone house, where they tied her up, mocked her, and threatened her life. Melinda's rage boiled over. The girls beat Shanda, stripped her of dignity, and inflicted unimaginable pain. Throughout the night, Shanda begged for her life, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. The final act. By the early hours of January 11th, the group decided to end it. They drove to a deserted field. Shanda, battered and terrified, was placed in the trunk of the car. After hours of abuse, Melinda and Lori poured gasoline over Shanda's still-living body and set her on fire. The flames lit up the dark sky as the girls watched. Shanda's young life ended in unimaginable agony, a death that shocked not only her community, but the entire nation. The discovery. Later that morning, a farmer discovered the burned remains. At first, the body was unrecognizable, but within hours investigators began piecing together the horrifying crime. News of a 12-year-old girl being murdered, and by her peers, spread rapidly. The brutality was beyond comprehension. The arrests and trials. The weight of guilt was too much for one of the girls, Toni Lawrence, who quickly confessed to the authorities. This led to the arrest of all 4 perpetrators. Melinda Loveless and Lori Tackett received 60-year prison sentences. Hope Rippey was sentenced to 60 years, later reduced to 35. Toni Lawrence received a lighter sentence of 20 years due to her cooperation. In court, the shocking details of the torture, the jealousy motive, and a lack of remorse from some of the girls left the public stunned. The aftermath. The case of Shanda Sharer became one of the most infamous examples of teen violence in America. It raised questions about jealousy, peer pressure, and how children so young could commit such unthinkable crimes. Shanda's mother, Jackie, became an advocate for victims' families and even later expressed forgiveness toward the perpetrators. But nothing could undo the tragedy. Shanda Sharer's story is a chilling reminder of how envy, rage, and peer influence can spiral into horror. She was just 12 years old, with her whole life ahead of her, when her light was extinguished. Her name lives on, not only as a victim of senseless violence, but as a call to remember the dangers of unchecked hatred and the importance of protecting our children. Rest in peace, Shanda Sharer.